Greetings, my people, greetings. This is Heights I. With our next inclusive reasoning to the idea, and I tell the idea, you see the reason, the reason is all about how I see life set up where a lot of people want to know. A lot of people would love to have them inspiration, to know what going on within life. Now, I come realize, say, I come born and grow in a society where we use a lot of words to connect with each other for us to understand each other. And I figure more or less say, or the people them figure more or less say, how we use words to correspond with each other is the way to go. No, I come realize that this is not really the true way to go about using words. The real true way to connect with each other and to connect to the spiritual aspect of life, which is nature, which is the breath, is by image, using up your thought. People, we should always be using up our thought. We should always be thinking on a natural aspect of life so we can connect with each other and connect with even the animal and the birds them without have to use words. I come realize that words is something that really come into existence for us not to know who we really and truly are, because we did really create just to utilize up our thought and create image, which is pictures in our thought. First of all, nature, which is the breath, it is so sensitive, it is so active, it is so knowledgeable. It pay attention to us by how we think and what we think. So, when we use words to the physical individual, but nature in its true aspect does not connect us with words. Because remember, people, when we are thinking about something, the first thing that comes to your thought is some image or picture. Some form of image or picture that come to our thought first. And then now we use those images by placing them with words, which we are totally wrong. All these images that we see in our thought, that's the way our natures act up on these images and give us answer. Because remember, the first man and the first woman that create in life, they did create and was using word to correspond with each other. They use image, thought, whatever they think in them thought. So if I think of something in my thought, which is an image going to appear in my thought, then the next individual are going to see what I think and know what I think, just like nature itself, because this is how nature set life. Life set for us to live with just image and thought. You think of what you want and nature put it in place. And remember, people, words just come in place because we lost from our true self. Our spiritual, natural self that we're supposed to correspond with the birds, with the animal, with the fish, with the trees, with the spiritual aspect of life. We lose it. So we end up have to use words to replace the image that we see in our head. We never need to name the image. Take for instance, you look at the mango tree and you see a mango. By seeing the mango, by looking at the mango, right away there's a picture of the mango that taken inside of your head. And that picture always be in your head. It always in our head. Anything that you look at with these, you're eventually going to take a picture. And those pictures, if it's a million things you look at for the day, the million things that you look at register in your head. All when you're conscious of what you're looking at and things that you don't conscious of. Once you glimpse something, it registers in your head. And then now, that register, it come back at you as memory. And when it coming back at you, remember, it not coming back at you in words. It is coming back at you in the same picture that you look at first to make it come back. So words, I am not fighting against words, and words is necessary. And words is necessary in this time because we lost from our true spiritual self. If we did connect with the birds, or connect as the birds or as the fish, and connect with ourselves in the true way, then we go through life not dumb, but we don't have to use words, because the spiritual aspect of life, it invent and it create all that you are looking at, and all that you are looking at create without words. All animal create without words. When the spiritual aspect of life, which is the breath, are creating animal, it create animal from pictures that it have within it natural substance. It didn't create these things with no form of words. It's human being come with words, because we lose the heights of image and that heights of connection with the breath. So we have to turn now to each other, to talk to each other, for help. But people, listen. When nature start to evolve, life source, like the earth, the moon, the sun, the star, the animal, the bird, the fishes, the water, and all these things create not by words, but by pictures and image, and then form and come into formation. So no words, no dead feet. These things create billions a year, and there, and people are full joy the moment. Billions a year, until them lost them way. Words just come in thousands a year ago. Just thousands a year ago, words invent by human being put sound and sound together and create what they call words. Because all words is spiritual, and words are there in the spiritual realms. Sounding. They're just sounding. Now, reason like this, people, mere people not going to get the fullness and the understanding of what I am saying. But really and truly, if one individual even did it, we get the fullness of what I am saying, give great thanks same way. Because I don't expect everybody who are listening and watching this to get the fullness of what I am saying. Because we didn't taught this way. These things don't taught in school nor church. These things taught within. So the moment you put yourself in the position to wake up out of the reality that we are living on a daily basic people, and forward within yourself and connect back with the breath of life, then these things are going to come up on you, because all of us, every single human being that you see on the face of the earth, anything where you hear me attack, it in everybody. But the reason why people don't recognize these is because of the teaching that we are getting physically. Bury down these things. So because we feel like we're so comfortable in the physical world and everything is okay, then we just live the way how we have been taught by other people. So we don't get the time to forward in ourselves, forward and find the trueness and the spiritualness of ourselves, people. This is what I do. That's why I can talk this way. Yeah. So really and truly, it's all about words, people. Too much words make we lose our naturality. Too much talking, because this language that we get to communicate with each other is not our language. It's really not our language. This never creating us. Like how your liver or your lungs would have creating you. You know, say I feel that. This language was just teaching to us in school and in our surrounding. So you find, say, the language that we are using only help to take away our true self. Bury down the natural things in us more and more and more and more. So the more we use words, remember now people, Isa is not really against words, but the truth have to reveal. This is the truth about life, that we supposed to tread earth not as a dumb people, but as a spiritual formation, because we are all spiritual people. We are all spiritual people. On a machine make we people. We not come from no iron, and no cement, and no sand, and no gravel. We are natural source of life. So once we are natural source of life, then the real natural things are in us. It never leaves us. It is always in us until the moment that you can put yourself in the position of life to bring up all these natural information. Then you will see a difference in life and you will connect with the difference that you see. So that I am just simply saying that words are not what we really and truly supposed to correspond with the spiritual part of us with. A lot of people say them go in prayer and them go talk to God with words. No, those are the so-called physical God that man make to give us to praise. We are going forward to the spiritual, the breath that we are breathing. It is the only, if you are going to praise a God, the breath that we are breathing is the God that we're supposed to praise, because it is what, the breath is what, with us on a daily basis, supplying us with the breath for us to live. You can imagine you are asleep and you breathe and you live. You wake and you walk up and down and you breathe and you live. And you don't recognize the breath. A lot of people keep going around and just living and just take the breath for just a breathing just a breathing vibration. No, the breath is more than that. The breath talk to us. The breath reason with us. The breath show us pictures on a daily basis. So when we view any image in our head, the breath keep those images and give it back to us at times as reminder. Say you go to a place for the first time. The first time you are going somewhere, right? The next time when you leave from that place and you want to go back to that place the next time, the breath are going to give you the reminder of how the place stay and the journey that you travel to go to that place. So that reminder is really an image that captured by the breath, and the breath give it back to you at the time when you're ready to use it. So people, we need to get back to our image. We need to get back to start to think more natural, because the people are not thinking, we realize that people not thinking nowadays. People are just living off a memory. People are just living off a teaching. Because you go to school from your 3-year-old until you're 16 or 18. So all of these things that swarm in your head is what we have been taught in school. So we don't get the time to sit down and think. So nature, which is the breath that is so much sensitive and so much with us and for us, we don't get the time for the breath to correspond with us, even though the breath always been corresponding with each and every one. Is we don't know, is we don't recognize that the breath is doing all of these. So people, before I even go any further, watch this video to the final, because this video are liveliness the people them with some knowledge that they want over the years and can't get, while some now go full jar it because them not understand what I say. So here I like how I share them information ya to the eye them. Here what? Share the video ya. Subscribe the video ya. Just comment on the video ya. Touch the notification bell on the video ya. So when I and I put in the next video, you can get more video people. So here what? Get forward again to these words that we're not supposed to really and truly use. We just use it. We just use it to communicate in our physical realms. The physical part of life, it is short. The physical part of life, people, it is not sure. The spiritual aspect of life, it is long and forever and sure. So we should really put ourselves in the position to connect forward to the spiritual part of life, because we are all spiritual people. We are not physical people. We are spiritual people. The teacher and the leaders of this world taught us that we are physical being. We are not no physical being. We are spiritual people. We only take on the physical aspect of life and our spiritual journey of life. So we need to connect back with the spiritual journey of ourselves, people, and know what is going on inside of us, around us, in the spiritual realms. So not just live in the physical realms alone and figure more or less say, we come here just to live and then time to come we just pass off and gone. No, we can live and live and live once you connect to the spiritual aspect of life, which is the breath. Once you are fully connect, because we all connect to the breath, because from we are breathing the breath of life, we connect. But that is not all. Just to breathe in the breath is not all. It's all about to think about the breath. While breathing in the breath, we keep thinking, what is the breath? Who is the breath? How the breath function? Why the breath is all? We are all, because we are all living in an ocean of breath. Not separate from the breath. The breath is all there is, people. The breath is everything. The breath is you, the breath is I. The breath, even the vehicle where you see I run out there, so is the breath. The birds is the breath. The animal is the breath. Everything is the breath. And the breath run through everything, and the breath is everything, people. So, words, again, you know the beauty and the benefit of being silent. The beauty and the benefit of being silent, people. You silent so the breath can more connect with you. Silence is a great thing. Silence is key. To get up every day with this talking thousands of words, it not really makes sense. It only makes sense in the physical realms, but it really and truly don't make sense in the spiritual realms, because the spiritual aspect of life create everything not with words but with image, which is picture. Images that it see within itself, it bring it into a spiritual aspect with what we call physical. We call it physical, but to the breath, everything is still spiritual. And I, who forward within myself, consider that every single thing is still spiritual. There's no thing that physical. All when a man make it, it's spiritual, because why? It can break down. Everything when man make can break down back in particles of cells till you can't see it. You can't see it. Just like a nail. You have a nail now and a nail there till it rotten down back, rotten down, just withered out and just break right down back to dust particles till you can't see it. So the nail is spiritual. Everything is spiritual. We only use the term physical because that's what we have been taught. We have been taught only about the physical part of life, but they cannot teach us about the spiritual part, because the spiritual part does not really need no bag book and pencil teaching. It needs to go in here, forward within this realms. This is where the spiritual aspect of life connect within the inner eye. There is an inner eye, that is inside of our head, that the spiritual aspect of life connect, and it connect in there for us when we think. It see what we think, because the breath work with us through our five senses. Anything you hear, touch, feel, smell, and taste, those carry an image to the inner eye, and the breath connect to all these and recognize what you are thinking, smelling, tasting, touching, and all these things. So, really and truly, we need to be silent more. To be silent, if I even, most people are silent throughout the whole day. Most people can't silent throughout the whole day. And if a person can get up and silent for even 1 hour out time there and just view life from a spiritual aspect, you will see a total different in your head. You can see a different vision in your head. Just to be silent for even 1 hour of the 24 hours that you get. And just view life in its spiritual aspect, people. You shall see a difference. Yeah. So, I is here with this vital reasoning where the people them supposed to really and truly connect to. So I and I they are just a giddy eye them, that view and that version, yeah, at the breath and words, and know that words, you use words wisely. Use words wisely, people, because a lot of people fall in danger because of words that they use to each other. Use your words wisely. Meditate more, talk less. If you are going to talk, people, talk wisely, like how I and I deal with it here now. I just start these words wisely because what? I know that people are here listening and happy to get this information that I am saying. And I have to talk it in this form to make the people them know, so them to just wake up. Wake up and go forward to your spiritual self. Remember, people, we are not physical people. Physical people are robot. Physical people are Dolly. Physical people are those people who man put them on pan. That more like is physicality. What nature create from within is spiritual. That's why things that nature create break down so fast. Break down back so fast. And not dead, it just break down and just forward in a different vibration of the breath. Because the breath is always been vibrating. It never stands still, it never sits still, it never lie down still. The breath always been vibrating and vibrating in image and pictures. Yeah, not words. Words was created by human being to take away and to keep down our spirituality from us. Thus we don't get to get the fullness of our spiritual aspect of life. So people, get forward to understand yourself, which is so much spiritual and so much higher, very much higher, so we can connect forward to the spiritual aspect of life. So much people are connected to this world that they call the physical world, and yet still everybody is spiritual. Everybody is always viewing life in the spiritual way, but them don't know. Them don't know until them find them true self. At that time you're gonna know, because I never know neither until I come realize that I don't know physical. I know physical. Because physical mean something where really and truly where nature no create. Yeah. But that no mean say through it physical it can't break down. It just take a longer time to break down, because why? A human make it. Anything when nature create break down quick. quick in space of 2 week or 3 week or a month or 2 month or a year or 2 year. Whatever man may take hundreds of years to break down back. Yeah. So this is Heights High. And remember people, I and I always have these inclusive reasoning for the item because I now come out of I and I sanity, you know. I and I now left from myself. Anything the item I get from I is always have to be something to do with the inner part of I, which is also the inner part of the item, and also have to do with the spiritual part of nature, which is the breath. So don't look for outside come the prank. You know no prank lead you astray and all this little gossip thing. Straight natural vibration the item I go get from outside anytime you see I. So here what? Remember, share, subscribe, comments, press the notification bell so you always going to get natural substance from Heights High. Real substance of reasoning. So here what? Love to the item.